All right, for more about retail theft, we're joined by Carol Spieckerman. She's the president of Spieckerman Retail Consulting Firm. Good to see you, and thank you, and welcome to the show. This is a topic that's caused a lot of consternation, both from the public, also from retailers themselves. In fact, we've heard from different retailers saying they're going to pull out of certain areas because of, I don't want to use the word crime, but retail theft, okay, is essentially what it is. But there's a plethora of questions that I have. First, let me get your thoughts on this new law. What does it mean, and how is it actually going to help alleviate the situation?
Well, I've been saying for a while that legislation hasn't caught up with retail reality, and particularly when it comes to these ever more sophisticated crime rings that are attacking retail. And the Inform Act is a great first step in mitigating that. It creates standards that weren't there before for reporting. It creates accountability for marketplaces to where they can no longer just sort of shrug and look the other way. And more than anything, it brings retailers together as a united front to combat this problem that is just plaguing all of them. And, you know, it's not going to be a quick fix because they'll have to work through compliance issues and who does what, and there'll be some bugs to work out. But even though it's not a quick fix, I think it's a major step in the right direction and a great first move.
We're familiar with business, and our folks have had a number of businesses, one specifically next to a Target. And in talking to the security folks, you know, I personally witnessed people walking in there, grabbing stuff, walking out, and I talked to the security folks, and they, of course, had this sort of stand down, don't do anything, but there was frustration among the employees, and quite frankly, there's concern among the employees for their own safety as they witnessed this theft that we're talking about. Why can't these individuals who steal, which let's call it that's what it is, why can't they be arrested?
Well, it depends. Like a lot of things in retail, it does depend. I mean, they can be in some places, and that's been part of the problem, is this fragmentation to where there are all these different jurisdictions, all these different rules. In some cases, you know, when a big box retailer opens in some regions, it just kills the bandwidth for the police departments there, and it can be a big burden to these communities as much as it is a boon. So there are a lot of moving parts, but the big overarching goal is to protect store associates, and particularly true as more of these organized retail crime operations become violent, and these violent confrontations with store associates are becoming downright commonplace. So that's the big goal that I think everyone shares. But in some cases, these folks can get arrested and apprehended, and in others, you know, police departments will look the other way, or like I said, they just don't have the bandwidth to deal with it. So there need to be larger solutions like the Inform Act that you know, take approaches from different angles rather than right as it's happening.
Carol, I love what you said there, because it's not about the money. Okay, this isn't about the hundreds or millions or billions being stolen. This is about employees who this is their first, second, third, or maybe their last career choice, whatever it may be. They work there, and there are sisters and brothers and our friends and family that work at these places, whether it's Best Buy or Walmart or any of these locations, and they are subjected to unnecessary risk when it comes to theft. Because you say violence, well, we don't know which ones are violent and not violent, right? So you have to do something to protect themselves. Is there more that stores can do to protect their own employees? And I know it's an awkward question, but I got to think that it's on the minds of everybody who's talking about this topic.
Well, there really is, you know, they've tried different sort of old school mitigating techniques, but we're right on the cusp, and I think the Inform Act's implementation will drive this even further to where retailers will have a lot more confidence in taking things over the finish line and investing in technology. There's a new wave of more integrated technologies on the way that I think are going to make a real difference. And retailers, I believe, are set to make major investments going into 2024 into these technologies that will protect store associates and really discourage
give us an example.
Activity.
Are we talking about like an AI or something that identifies the perpetrators or can prevent products from being disabled if they're leaving the store without being paid for? What type of technology are you talking about?
Well, it's really all of the above. The good news is there's so many third-party providers, and now retailers have never been more open to these third-party solutions. They know they can't do everything themselves. So that's the good news. There are all kinds of third-party technology companies right now that are building solutions that mitigate theft, whether it's those disabling devices, also monitoring from parking lot to inside the store, linking that activity to online, and of course the Inform Act also handling the online marketplaces where this stuff is fenced and de-incentivizing folks to do that. So it's a lot of moving parts, but again, it's an exciting time for technology in stores in general, but going forward and into next year, I think so much of that is going to be directed toward getting rid of this theft problem, or at least mitigating it.
Yeah, I feel like we're talking about a movie in the future, but this is happening now. You might end up having to scan just to go into the store. Carol Spieckerman, really appreciate your time on this important topic for us. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.